guys, we are here for my next BookTube, which is actually kind of going to be more of a BookCon edition, because in the last 2.5 weeks I've only finished one book, and I can explain why. So I finished State of Sorrow by Melinda Salisbury, and this book, I actually had to look at my review on Goodreads because I was like, I don't remember this book. And basically, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, I just liked it. It wasn't, didn't really ever grab me, I feel like. It was just an okay book. Um, so the reason this is the only book I finished, I started reading Honest and Ivory, which came in the last Fairy Loot box, but then a friend and I decided to buddy read Outlander because we've never read it, so I'm reading that now, and if you don't know, that's a really huge book. Um, but the other problem is also I've been on vacation for the last week and a half. And for some reason, when I'm off work, I actually don't read as much. I know that seems really weird that, hey, you're off work, you should be reading more because you're not off work. And for me, it's like, no, I'm off work, so I'm gonna catch up on shows and binge watch stuff. And yeah, so that's what I do when I'm off work. I watch things on Netflix and Hulu and don't read. Um, but I went to BookCon this weekend and I actually met one of my subscribers there. Hi! Thank you for telling me that you subscribed to me and you like my unboxings and everything. That made me really, really happy. Um, so my BookCon experience, I don't feel I did it right. I honestly only went to one panel while I was there. I went to the Jeff Kinney panel, and that was really, really fun, but that was at the end of the day on Sunday, and it made me kind of wish I had done some more panels, but I didn't. But I did meet 4 authors who I did autographings for. So the first author I met on Saturday was Kendra Blake. So I got 3 Dark Crowns and Wonder Throne signed and personalized. And she was really, really nice. I had pictures of the 4 authors I met on my Instagram, and Ruth Reads. So you can see the pictures of me with them there. And then on Saturday, my last author I met was Naomi Novik. And a lot of people seem to know her for her, I want to say newest book, but it's not, I guess it is, Uprooted. But see, I know Naomi, and I really enjoyed this book. I read this book, I believe, at the beginning of last year, and it was really, really good. I really liked it. But I know Naomi for her, and I'm probably going to say the name wrong, Temeraire series. And this is the first book, and I also took the second book to have her sign. Because on my ticket they didn't specify how many she would sign, and considering I have 10 books from her, I felt like that might not be a good idea to have all 10 books of hers shipped out to me, but she totally said she would sign them all, so I kind of wish I had. But I love this series. This is such a great little, I guess it's not really a little series, but I love it. And I noticed when I was looking, so when she signed, so that is a little abstract dragon right there, and she drew Captain Lawrence riding on Temeraire, and I was so happy about that. I thought that was so cute. And then they also, if you were kind of earlier in the line, you also managed to snag an arc of her upcoming novel, Spinning Silver. So this is the only arc I got at BookCon, but I'm super, super excited to read it because, again, I love Naomi. I've loved everything I've read from her whole 9-book series plus Uprooted. So I'm really, really excited for this one too. There were some people in the line who weren't really happy because they did run out of arcs. They did. And for me, I'm kind of like, well, all arcs are always while supplies last, but at the same time, they knew how many tickets they gave away, so they maybe should have had one for every ticket and not let people get away with 2, because I did see at least one person who managed to grab 2 of them, but I was kind of like, but she also bought 2 copies of this book, so, it was hard. So for the people who didn't get one, I'm sorry you didn't get one, but it is while supplies last. That's my belief with anything. And I know I have that belief from my years working retail because, we've always had that where well, it's while supplies last. If we don't have it, we don't have it. Sorry. Um, but no, she was really, really sweet. I loved meeting her. Um, like, I actually chose to go to her signing when I was getting my autographing tickets instead of seeing Holly Black again, since I did recently meet Holly in March. And I was like, but might be my only chance to meet Naomi Novik. Like, what do I do? Fairy Queen or, Dragon? Um, and so I am really sad at BookCon that if the novel gave away arcs of Wicked King, I never saw it. And I had like my notifications turned on for them and everything, which I never turn on notifications. So I'm really sad they didn't do that. Because that's like the only arc I really, really want now. But I just hope that's not gonna happen. So that was kind of like my Saturday, and then I just kind of like wandered around. I stood in the massive owl crate line and won a fountain pen when I spun the wheel, and I actually used it last night. It's a really awesome pen. I love it. So then on Sunday, I got there and I wandered around a little. And then my two signings were like kind of mid-morning, afternoon. So my first signing was for Tommy. Um, And she was super, super nice. Like, when I told her I was from Arizona, she asked me, oh, you guys having haboobs yet? And for those of you who don't know, haboobs are like these massive dust storms we get out here. And I was like, no, we haven't really had any yet, but, our monsoon season is about like 15 days away. And I was just like in awe that this author, who does not live in Arizona, knows like one of our terms for, dust storms. But apparently she did tell me she has a new friend who lives in Arizona too. So it's like, okay. So yeah, really enjoyed meeting her. And then right after her, I immediately went into line for Laini Taylor. And so I brought these two books with me. I didn't take the third book in the series because I actually hadn't owned it before BookCon, and I bought it like the day before I left, and so it didn't get shipped with the books I had shipped for myself. And it was making my bag way too heavy, and I have to carry that, so I only took these two. And for Lainey, we had to buy a book, and so I bought the paperback copy of Strange the Dreamer. I didn't buy the hardback because I have the hardback in the UK cover, which is what this cover is, and I honestly kind of hate the US cover. And I was kind of sad because at Lainey's booth, I did see a couple people who managed to snag arcs of Muse of Nightmares, but I guess it was just kind of like maybe first couple of people in line thing. I don't know, because they didn't mention that to anyone. But it's okay. I'm fine, But she was super, super nice too. And there was someone in the line ahead of me who actually made Funkos for Lainey of Lazo and Sarai, which was like, they were super awesome. Like, I didn't really see them up close. I just saw them in the line when she was like showing other people. And like, for Sarai, she even had it like connected where there was moths looking like they were coming out. And that was just super awesome. If you follow Lainey on Instagram or anywhere, you probably saw her post pictures of them. They were really good. They were really good. And then the rest of Saturday, I just kind of wandered around, hit more booths, spun the wheel for the Enchanted Fandom box and the Bookish box, and and then I went to the Chicklet / Once Upon the Bookcase booth and spun the wheel there, and then I ended up buying a new phone case. Yay! And it was, guys, it was so hard to decide which phone case to get. I finally decided I had to embrace my Harry Potter roots because I could not decide between like Grimm's Fairy Tale or Beauty and the Beast or Shakespeare, and I was like, you know what? No, Harry Potter is like my favorite thing of all time. Like, I love Shakespeare and fairy tales and everything, but really it's Harry Potter. So yeah, this is my lovely new phone case. Yay! But yeah, it was really, really fun at BookCon, and again, I kind of wish I had done more panels. But it is what it is. I will say this now, I probably won't ever go to BookCon again, because again, it's in New York and or Chicago, and I'm here in Arizona. The only time I would go again is if I ever get my acting gear and finish my own novel and find an agent and get published and I'm invited as an author, then I would go. Otherwise, I think next year I'm gonna try for Y'all West, because that's just one state over, and so that's slightly more doable for me, even though I've never gone, but you know, it is. And also the Tucson Book Festival, I'll probably start going to that from now on. But, so yeah, that was my BookCon adventure. Like, again, I didn't do much. I just wandered, bought stuff. Didn't really run into any authors in my wanderings, which was, you know, kind of sad, but it's okay. So, if you guys went to BookCon, comment, tell me how much fun you had, what you did. Again, you guys can ask me any questions. So my next video will be in like a week and a half, and hopefully I will have finished more books by then, because I do go back to work next week. So yeah, that is all for this video. I'm sorry it was kind of boring and not very book review-ish this time, but, you know, had to talk about BookCon. Thanks so much, guys. Bye!